What's up, guys? It's Dan. So something different with this video. Well, I'm pretty much making it because today is my birthday. So I'm getting too old now. But anyway, I am here at a dead end. What the hell am I doing? Well, that's beside the point. I'm here with the van. Now, what does this have to do with my birthday? Well, I've had it for pretty much a year now, and this thing was pretty much my birthday present to myself. So yeah, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about this thing, how it's been for pretty much a whole year, and what I've done to it. In other words, I'm gonna tell you 5 things that I like about it, and 5 things that, well, I won't say hate, dislike about it. So, and it's not in any particular order, so let's begin. I would say the first thing I like about this thing is its styling. It is a rather somewhat radical design for a minivan. As we all know, the first radical minivan design was the Toyota Previa. They said that thing was like a spaceship. And the first place my eyes went when I first saw this generation Odyssey was this. What the hell is going on here with its windows? But I like it. It's grown on me. And it has a nice streamlined wedge shape design overall. Follows the wedge shape with its body lines coming up here. And then for this rear area, you can see it goes all the way here to a point right at the door there. Same thing with the door handles, all wedge shape. The lower body thing right there, whatever that is. Front and rear. It's like a big toy. My brother calls it an obese Accord, which kind of makes sense. And of course I did my own personal touches to it, mainly painting some of the black trim parts body color, like the rocker panel there. Painted that silver. The splash guards also silver, and the rear spoiler trim silver as well, just to bring out the size of the body more, which it does. Here I'll show you a comparison of my van and pretty much what it used to look like. You can really see the subtle touches I did with it, how big of a difference it makes in appearance. And for the front, I recently smoked out the chrome trim on the grille. Now this is a light smoke, and you can see the difference there with the chrome and that. And I had those on my headlights at one point, and it's no wonder I couldn't see. And another thing I did was I trapezoided the lower grille there. You know, make it different, but gives it that overall look like that. I might do something with the trim, the chrome trim down there. I've been pointing at the right place. And for the rear, I decided to vinyl wrap the tail lights. These were all clear, but I wrapped the turn signal so it's all red, and I just wrapped the border here just so it ties it in to the overall tail light, and the center garnish, which was just chrome. So that's all red, but here's the overall look of it. I think it looks nice. I also like the design of the interior, like the door panel here. It's not just, you know, flat, blah, whatever. It's got some shape to it. And the center console as well. The overall dash layout and design. The wedge shapes continue in here, but I really like how this looks. I like looking at it every time. And that was pretty much key when I was looking for a car. I didn't want anything too, like, boring to look at. So this is always eye-catching to me. And even the passenger, the rear door panels have some shape and design to them. And of course, one thing I like about the design is all this room back here. The rear seats are folded down. There's just so much room here because it's meant for carrying people, but I use it for carrying stuff. So with the center row taken out, there's about at least 145 cubic feet of cargo space in here. That's quite massive. So, lots of room. Another thing I like about this thing is its handling. I know it's a minivan, but it actually does handle quite well out of the box. But I came from tuner cars, so I had certain expectations of how I wanted a vehicle to like basically handle and ride. So this Odyssey behind me is probably the best handling on the street in a pretty wide radius. It does have springs. Yes, they make springs for this van. You can't tell, and that's the whole point. I did also put spacers front and rear. I got 25 mil there and 15 mil up front. And as you can see, I did upgrade the brakes as well, just the fronts. The spacers enhance its look. As you can see the tires, they don't tuck, and that's what I like. But it also increases handling. It widens the track, and cornering in this thing is very easy. It actually can do it. It's a 4,500 pound vehicle, but it doesn't feel like it, and that's another thing I like. The way it handles, rides, takes corners and brakes. I did upgrade the brakes because I have a bad habit of wanting to brake late or not at all. So I did that to try to help stop this 2.25 ton van. Yeah, that's right. I don't even know my math. I also like the fuel economy I get in here. I mean, for a vehicle like this, it's rated at 27, 28 highway and 19 city. I average 26, and if you average closer to the highway MPG, then you know you're saving. The average that I see calculated for this van is 22, so my driving is like at least 80% highway, so that's how I'm able to get my MPG. But even around town on stuff like that, I drive it in a certain manner to maintain my MPG. And I had to do that because I came from a compact sedan, which obviously got better MPG than this, so I knew I had to save, or try to save gas with this thing, or with whatever I ended up with. I knew whatever I ended up with would get worse MPG than what I had previous, so, and I'm able to, especially when I add the acetone. I also like what it's equipped with. It's got power sliding doors and lift gate. It's really nice. So you can see. It's got GPS, Bluetooth, pretty much your now basic options for today's vehicles. And as you know, I did add more of these up front and in the back, so got charging ports everywhere. I also added my dash camera here. You can't really see the screen because it's being too much of a mirror, but it is right here. I do have a rear camera hook up to it. You can see the little black box right there on the top. That's my rear camera, and it just shows in here. I can change views and stuff. I'll link this mirror in the description below. It's selling pretty cheap right now, but it's the best dash camera I've ever gotten. So, and I recommend getting some kind of dash camera just to cover your ass when you're on the road, because you never know what will happen. Alright, now to move on to things that I don't like about this thing. Number one would be Honda's way to distinguish different trim levels, as you've probably seen in my winker mirror video. But if you haven't seen it, Honda puts winker mirrors on the Touring and Elite models of this van. Anything under that, LX, EX, EX-L, Special Edition, have no turn signals in the mirrors. Also, the Touring and Elite get the fog lights as well. I have these because I put those on myself because I wanted them. But yeah, it's just weird. And of course, you know, the standard thing like rims, the Touring and Elite get 18s, I have 17s. Other options, like they actually have blind spot warning in there. Parking sensors, which you don't see on mine. One thing I don't see on the Touring and Elite, well, very few of them, is this lane watch camera. I really like this camera. It shows up on my center console right here, and that's the view from the camera. I use this quite a bit. It activates on the left stick here, this button, you can see. Now this mirror turns on every time I signal to the right or if I push on the button myself. The only time I leave this on when I'm driving is if I have lanes on this side of me, just so I know who's there. And I also have a good view there on the mirror. But yeah, this gives me a very good idea of who's coming up on me. Otherwise, I'll just turn it off. And since I'm inside, that leads me to my next thing that I don't really like. Some of the buttons here, I have to lean to touch them, to reach them. I don't really like doing that. There's times where I need my defroster and I have to lean forward to push my defroster button. A little bit for the AC, but my arm is like fully stretched. And sometimes I need this one. And sometimes I want recirc. And, you know, things like that. They're kind of far because this is just flat. And even though I'm not a tall person, my seating position where it's comfortable for me is still quite, you know, distant, a little distant for these buttons. Now the only reason I can touch right now is I'm actually leaning forward. But if I'm just comfortable sitting down, I can't reach. Yeah, that's what happens. So just a little annoyance on that. And to add to interior issues, as you can see, I have a mirror tint strip here that I put on shortly after I got this van. And I did that because it has nothing here at all. Not even any kind of blue fade or anything. It's just clear, just like this up here. There's nothing. So I took it upon myself to put something there, anything there. Yeah, I have no idea why it had nothing there. Overall, there aren't too many things that I dislike about this van. They're mostly likes, but I'll point out a few things. Here's one. It's my third brake light. Now you're probably wondering what's wrong with it. Well, there's nothing wrong with it now, but before, I mean, you can see the LEDs in there. It's not originally LED, it's just a bulb. I did this to it. There are vehicles older than this van that have LED third brake lights, so I have no idea why they didn't do that. It just looks so stupid, lame, old, whatever negative word you want to use. But I had to do something about this as well. So there you go, much better. I guess the last thing I can add are crossbars up here. They don't adjust. They actually screw on to the rails there. I wish they could adjust because look how close together they are. But no, they're just fixed. They don't slide or anything. They're either on or they're off. So, but I don't really use my rack much at all. I've only used it once because I can fit a shitload in here. So that's what all this space is for. I actually have one more thing to add. It's both a good and bad thing. It's the fact that it's a van. People don't think much of it, so they're just vans. They're nothing special to anyone else. So I don't get bothered at all, which is nice. But because it's a van and people don't think of it, I don't know why people don't think I'm there. People don't think I exist or whatever. For example, yeah, so I'm there, people, and my lights are always on. I have LED daytime running lights and my fog lights, so there's no excuse to not see me. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to share with you my van and things I've done with it. If you didn't know, I don't share it too much because it's just a van. Who gives a fuck? Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go off and have myself a happy birthday. I am gonna be at Weekfest, if any of you give a damn. I know I'm nobody, but I'll be there. I'll be saying what's up, and I will be making a video over there as well. Oh, it is hot, and there is actually some breeze, so I'm gonna open my windows here. Oh, it feels so much better. I'll see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.